You are listening to the Getting Lucky Mixed Martial Arts Podcast. I'm your host, Lucky Robert Curtis. We'll be reviewing UFC 156 in two parts. The first part will be the prelims. The second part will be the main card. Joining us to cover all of the action is our good friend Mitchell Stucky. Hello, Mitchell.
Hello there.
Hello. You may hear in the background a jackhammer sound. And I would confirm to you that yes, it is indeed a jackhammer sound. My asshole neighbors, just across the street from the Lucky Rob headquarters, have been pounding away at their cement for the last week, starting from 7 a.m. all the way to 6 p.m. There it is. You hear it?
That jackhammer sound is actually me with his wife. Hey!
Oh! That's actually Bigfoot Silva on Alistair's chin. Oh! If you don't like Alistair Overeem, you're going to love this show. If you love him, you should probably just stop listening.
No, listen to it and hate on us. I love that stuff.
Let's get started on the Facebook prelims. Let me first say about the prelims as a whole. These were awesome. The whole damn thing, top to bottom. The prelims are always more exciting in terms of back and forth, good finishes. But these prelims, I think, were actually something special.
I really enjoyed them. You had two split decisions where I felt one of them really wasn't going to go either way. I thought it was pretty clear. But, usually, people are upset about decisions, but that coupled with the finishes, it was great. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yes. Let's talk about the first one. A bantamweight matchup between Edwin Figueroa against Francisco Bernoulli, or Rivera. Rivera won via TKO in the second round. How did it happen?
Figueroa was bringing it to him early on, but he rallied, and instead of hitting him in the nuts, he kind of took out a gassed Figueroa.
Yes.
Figueroa put too much effort into it. But what I will say, and I think you're going to be upset about this, is that the stoppage was a good one by Kim Winslow. Good, Kim Winslow.
Can't
give it to her on that?
I can't say anything good about Kim Winslow based off of what she did in the Bobby Green fight. Yes, Bobby Green.
Right. Well, considering the Rivera-Figueroa fight was before that, I was surprised that she made something...
Congratulations, Kim Winslow. You did your fucking job.
Right, but when it got to the Bobby Green fight, which we'll talk about, that was just heinous. But
yes,
back to the fight. I mean, Rivera...
Heinous in your anus.
Ooh! Rivera did look good, but he beat a super gas Figueroa, which I think, since they're fighting at your height level, you could have beaten him too after he was gassed.
I think you overestimate just how good I am at fighting. One of these guys could have one leg, one arm, and be blind, and I still think he would put me in a triangle. Rivera,
chill, sonin.
Figueroa looked much crisper in round one on the feet. Rivera landed a few takedowns. Figueroa dropped him with a left hook counter, and then, like you said, against the cage, Bernoulli, bam, and I think he actually beat him all the way across the ring, the cage, and he got his TKO late in the second round.
He did. I thought that Figueroa expended too much energy going for the finish that he wasn't going to get against Rivera, and ultimately that cost him.
Yeah. This actually makes me think of something. Rivera got popped for a banned substance in his last fight. Mm-hmm. And I've been hearing reports that a UFC and FX fighter down in Brazil failed a drug test. But it's not Vitor. So I wonder, they was supposed to be announced today, but I haven't seen anything. I was wondering if you'd seen it.
No, I was looking for it because Dana White's making a big deal about it.
Yeah.
In terms of... No, it wasn't Vitor. Everybody should shut their mouths. Well, who was it?
But seriously, Vitor looked juiced. He
did.
Shredded. He looked
just
much stronger than his previous fights.
Right. And look at his pre-fight pictures compared to that one. He was shredded.
Yeah, and he had an awesome haircut. I like the haircut Vitor.
I did. I enjoyed that.
If I was Brazilian, I would do it too. You can get away with that shit if you're Brazilian.
You can get away with a lot of stuff, like PEDs. You know what I'm saying?
This is... I can't wait to get to Alistair Overeem's fight, because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. If you don't like Alistair Overeem, welcome. Welcome. Just put part 2 on repeat, because we're going to hammer that kid left to right. The next fight was supposed to be a bantamweight fight. Supposed to be. But Dustin Kamura decided he wanted to make weight. With a name like Kamura, I own this fucking sport. I'll come in whatever weight I want to come in at.
He came in at the cruiser bantamweight.
Yes, he's a cruiser bantamweight. 139.5 is what he weighed in at. He faced off against Chico Camus. And Chico is now going to be world famous for leaving his hands on the mat.
Oh my goodness, that was annoying, wasn't it?
Are you saying it was annoying that he was doing it, or it was annoying that Joe Rogan was saying it?
Joe Rogan would not shut up.
See, I figured you would get annoyed by that. But my guess is that unless he specifically pointed it out, you and I would have missed it. No.
Okay, here's the thing with Joe Rogan. I applaud him. I applaud him for telling me what it is I clearly don't know. And I really don't. And it makes me a smarter person. I will say this. I started watching, the UFC and MMA in general, not knowing anything, like many people. And from my knowledge now is mainly based from what Joe Rogan's told me watching it. So, very happy with his ability to do that. But don't continue to repeat it. That happened later on the card, and we'll talk about that later. But, oh my God, shut up.
I think what Rogan was saying is what Chico was doing was the equivalent of having one hand up in your stand-up and one hand behind your back.
Yeah.
From a grappler standpoint, he's like, what the fuck is this kid doing? And he kind of had to talk about it because Kamura kept attacking his arms from the guard.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if Joe Rogan had a choice. In fact, here's the thing. I bet you that for the rest of your MMA commentating career, when some asshole puts his elbow or does a body lock from the top position, you're going to notice it from now on.
Yeah, you better be sure that if I'm out watching fights with my friends, I'm like, see that technique? That's totally wrong.
Anytime a dude gets kicked in the nuts, I'm like, tie cup. Thank you, Joe Rogan. Anyone guy gets poked in the eye, they need to fix those gloves. Thank you, Joe Rogan.
Right. By the way, $1 trillion idea if you can come up with a set of gloves where you can't extend your hands, but you can also extend your hands.
And somehow protects your dick. If you can couple that in together,
you'll shut Joe Rogan up.
Joe Rogan will actually fillet you on air.
But about the cruiser bantamweight fight that we have here,
yes,
I thought it was a phenomenal fight. Matter of fact, I put this fight, for myself at least, as the fight of the night. For me, it was. This Kamura kid, I really enjoyed watching him fight, and maybe Camus made him look better with the secret Joe Rogan thing, but I don't know. I thought it looked great. Did you hear anything from Chico's corner?
Oh my lord!
His cornermen.
I thought Chico's game plan. Okay, yes, he did have a technical deficiency, as we've pointed out ad nauseum, about posting his hands. That's why Dominic Cruz always says that he likes guys that have that nice tight platform when they're on the top. They keep, like T-Rex arms, like Joe Rogan said. Mm-hmm. That's a technical deficiency. But his corner, had Chico stayed on the feet and been technical and tried to point out a decision, Dustin Kamura did not look like he was going for takedowns. He was ready to exchange. I think Chico could have won the fight.
I thought I thought he was getting the better of the exchanges.
And then in round 3, Chico goes for a takedown.
He did it every round. That's how the fight would go to the ground.
And he got reversed. He got reversed by that omoplata in round 1. In round 2 and round 3, he got reversed into getting a full mount and then into back mount and rear naked choke and with 150 in the round. Mm-hmm. What a moron. I'm sorry. Chico Camus. What are you doing? You gave the fight away.
Yeah, his corner's saying, look, don't go to the ground. Stand up with him. He's doing this, this, and this, and you can counter that, standing. And he goes for the takedown in every round when this guy's clearly slick off his back. He lost himself that fight.
Yes, he did. And I want to say something about Kamura again. compare that to what Jacob Volkmann looked like on his back.
Oh, he was lost.
It looks, I mean, it is absolutely stunning to me that here in 2013, that every fighter doesn't have a guard like Dustin Kamura or a guard like Pepe. I don't know if you remember that fight.
Yeah.
A highly aggressive, controlling guard where you're putting so much pressure on the guy that's in the top position that he can barely even get ground and pound off because you're going for arms, you're going for triangles. I'm shocked that more people don't have that type of aggressive guard because Kamura controlled Camus from his back.
Mm-hmm. What was shocking was that Camus, sure, Kimura's guard was that good in this day and age, but you'd also expect the reverse to be true. You'd think Camus could defend.
True. Yeah, true.
But did you after the fight? I really liked Kimura's humility.
Oh yeah.
he was like to Joe Rogan. He said, "I can't believe you're talking to me."
Yeah.
Like I thought that was really cool. And for a guy without a Wikipedia, I mean, it's kind of true. You need to get a wiki. But
he wrote on Twitter. He said, "Had a great night. All my dreams came true." And I wrote back to him, "Nice fight. Now make weight." That's my only complaint.
Yeah, when you're getting fined $20,000 of like $10,000, 20% of your $10,000, that's gonna hit you where it hurts.
And I think that might include his win bonus too.
Yeah, well, I don't know how that works. I wonder if that does.
Yeah.
No, actually, he made $16,000, including an $8,000 win bonus. So I wonder if that affects that.
I would not be happy if I had to give that away. All right, so moving on to the FX card, we predicted an absolute destruction, annihilation. But unfortunately, Yves Edwards didn't get the memo. He came in flat. He came in not aggressive. In fact, I would say the thug jitsu was decidedly slug jitsu. Mm-hmm. He fought against Isaac Valley Flag. Isaac Valley Flag has one of the most interesting names in the world to me because it immediately makes me think of Valley Forge.
Right.
But his initials are IVF, which for anyone that has any medical knowledge whatsoever is the initials for in vitro fertilization.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having the feeling that Isaac Valley Flag has 75 kids all around the country.
Based on initials.
Yes, just based off of initials alone. I thought, I can't call him Valley Flag. I thought IVF is kind of your dad's MMA fighter. Comes forward, pretty singular focus in his craft. He's got sort of old man strength. He looked like he was stronger than Yves Edwards, you know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's got one of those muscular bellies that comes out. You and I both thought Yves would destroy him, but that's not what happened, is it?
No, I thought it was a death. What I think is going to be an interesting little factoid for our listeners, Yves Levine ref this fight, and it was the first time with Yves Edwards in the ring that two people named Yves were ever in the same cage together.
So you think, like, during the fight, Isaac was like, "I'm going to kill you, Yves," and Levine's like, "Oh, yeah, that's the point."
Levine got scared. Levine's basic grasp of English caught on to that. So, and
you
it
don't
scared
think
him.
Yves Levine can speak English?
Have you heard him talk?
Isn't he like French Canadian or something?
Whatever. Even if he can speak fluent English, he sounds silly to me. Right. And that's for you Canadian listeners.
Yeah, or French people in general.
Right. Take that home. Chew it.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Eh?
I thought Valley Flag, and I will call him Valley Flag because that's what America does.
If you take out that F, if you take out that L, it really sounds like something you'd hear someone in California say.
Yes, it does. I thought IVF. Now that you've convinced me,
thank you.
He was impressive. Right from where he signed on the dotted line, he signed to fight a dangerous dude in Yves Edwards, and stepped in there and backed it up. I thought something must be wrong with Yves Edwards because I don't think that Valley Flag was better. Like on Saturday he was, but I don't think he is a better fighter. Something looked off.
Slow hands, slow feet, brawler, but he took a split decision off of a guy who I thought technically, athletically, experience-wise was head and shoulders above him. Mm-hmm. And this really started the absolute destruction of our picks for this event.
Yeah. Generally, when we do this show, I feel like I can pick them kind of well with fair amount of accuracy. This card threw me off bad.
Yes. I got IVF'd in this card. I am now carrying triplets. This next fight, Jacob Volkmann versus Bobby Green. I loved this fight. I love Bobby Green. No relation to Al Green. The first round was a bit scary because I thought, oh my god, here we go.
Yep.
Volkmann took him down, I believe, didn't score any damage, but controlled him for the entire round. So Volkmann's like, yeah, that's right.
I can hug you.
I can hug you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But Bobby Green, he came back with a bit of a fury. He had some swagger. He fought off a couple of takedowns in round 2, waving his hand, come on, bring it, bitch. Then everything changed when he got into top position.
That's where it took a dive. What I don't understand about that fight is you've got the whole first round was controlled by Volkmann doing nothing but flexing his biceps and, showing off his ass to the camera, saying, look how much I can hug another grown man. It was a jungle fever type feeling there for me. And then the second round, Green does the same thing, but is actually going, banana sandwich on Volkmann, just throwing everything he's got him, and Winslow's like, nah, I've seen enough, stand up.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, he's advancing, he's striking.
He's bloodied Volkmann.
Yeah, he's going to kill Volkmann. What are you doing? Everyone wants to see this.
There was some drama before this fight. A Twitter war. And even Ariel Helwani, surprise, surprise, got pulled into it and started fanning the fires. Bobby Green said Volkmann was a boring fighter.
Can I say this real quick about Ariel Helwani?
Yes.
He's always sticking his nose places.
I don't know if he can help it. Bobby Green said Volkmann was a boring fighter and he gets a lot of boos, which is absolutely true. Volkmann came back with Bobby Green's just a disrespectful street thug. And I'm assuming Volkmann doesn't really know Bobby Green and just said that because he was black. And Bobby Green's like, what are you talking about, street thug? It's actually pretty entertaining if you want to go back and read the Twitter exchange. I'm suspecting that Kim Winslow is a secret member of the Aryan Nation. And when she saw Air Volkmann dominating the Submensch in the first round, doing nothing, she's like, yeah, this is good. Hurt him, kill him. But then, when the tables were turned, and Bobby Green was going King Kong on poor Aryan superstar Volkmann, she's like, no, we must nine. You must stop, stand, please. Please go stand in each corner. And who has my mat?
Did you have to reference King Kong in relation to Bobby Green? That's just...
You said jungle fever, and you even said he went banana on him.
He went banana sandwich. That's
yeah.
the
So
phrase.
why banana?
That's low.
Because
I want to apologize for my host.
I'm gonna apologize for you. I'm apologizing for my co-host.
No, you're right. Maybe she is part of the Luftwaffe, but I thought that for me, I mean, that really kicked off the prelims. Seeing first of all Kamura put up such a slick ground game, and then Volkmann just getting destroyed. Who doesn't like that?
He did not look like he had a happy day. At the end of the fight, he looked looked like his will to live had been ripped out of his body and shown to him, wiggling and twitching with its
I wouldn't
death
have been
throes.
upset. I wouldn't have been upset if he cried, right there on camera.
To bring the racial element all the way, maybe Bobby Green was pissed off about the Obama comments.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's what we do. Insightful political commentary. I think at one point during the fight, and I think it was in round 3, Bobby Green was mounted or had side control or something, and I think he actually stopped and said or winked or something to Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan sort of mentioned it for a second, and then had to stop saying what he was saying because he was right there. What Bobby Green needs to do is, I should probably not say this because he can hear me, because he's sitting there smiling or talking to Joe during the fight.
Yeah, Rogan mentioned he mentioned something on Twitter about possibly helping Bobby Green win the fight with his comments. Because Green, I couldn't see it on camera. You're right. Green did do something to him, and then Rogan made his comments, and all of a sudden, there he is in the rear naked choke. So
yeah.
What's
in
going on?
fact, Joe Rogan's like, I should probably keep my voice down so Bobby Green doesn't hear me. But I'd move your leg over, Bobby. Move it over.
Hit him in the tie cup.
Yeah, I don't think Jacob Volkmann and Joe Rogan are very good friends because when he made that joke, Joe Rogan looked like, what a dumbass. Don't try to be a comedian.
No.
Bobby Green, 20-5, the next lightweight champion. Put it down.
Whoa.
Mark it down.
Mark it 8.
Welterweight fight. I guarantee we're going to spend talking about this fight 5 times longer than the fight actually took.
I think so.
It was a 30-second fight. 36 seconds. Tyrone Woodley got fired out of a rocket. He did the fastball special. When Colossus grabs Wolverine and throws Wolverine and Wolverine goes all claws?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Tyrone Woodley did to Jay Hieron's face. He came in, I believe, with an overhand right. Bam! Stunned him. Jay Hieron literally landed face first on the canvas and then sort of rolled over, and Tyrone Woodley landed another 75 punches. This was not a good night for Herb Dean.
No, I was upset at the stoppage there because he waited until Hieron was stiff as a board to call it. And if you're stiff as a board after the first punch, I'm very proud of that. But if it takes a number of unanswered shots to get you there, I don't like that. Like Dan Henderson, Michael Bisping, phenomenal. This fight kind of sickened me a little bit.
Yeah. And then there was a moment when Hieron, he gets clipped, and he's like, where am I? And then you can see it as he's getting pounded. Ouch, 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 unicorns. And that was when it was stopped. I was like, you probably could have stopped it before he got to Narnia.
Yeah, I don't know. It was cool to see Woodley go out like that, come out, and power up, like he just ate a Super Mario mushroom and just full on. But I thought it was fine. It was finally where you get to see a wrestler who will use the freak strength power they have, and use their fists, use their freak strength to break a brainstem.
Tyron only had 1 KO coming into this fight, and that blows my mind because he is so fast with such power. How the hell has he never thrown a punch before now? I mean, he had to catch somebody.
No, prior to this, I've known him as a decision fighter, just straight decisions. Now, granted, he was fighting, Tarek Safadine, Paul Daly, guys you probably want to take down anyway, but for me, he was just a decision fighter, and he changed my mind a lot here. I hope that he goes out and does that in the future.
I would like to see it too, but until I do see it, just like even with my guy Johnny Hendricks when he KO'd John Fitch, I was like, that's a fluke. And then he did it to Martin Kampman. I'm like, all right, I will now sit at the front of the bandwagon and wave the flag. I need Tyrone Woodley to do that again. And impressive to that level. Until I think he's a better Josh Koscheck. That's all I think at this point.
A better Josh Koscheck.
I think he's got more power. I think he's younger, and I think his wrestling is cleaner.
I agree with the wrestling. I think Josh Koscheck's actually faster. At least he was. Maybe not now. But what kind of is a bummer is he did begin as a submission fighter, Tyron Woodley, and that just wasn't something that I had seen. And after his interview, or maybe it was Twitter or something, after the fight, he said, people don't know me as a finisher. People know me as a decision fighter, but all I did was finish fights. And then I got in that 3-fight decision streak, and he's right. That's what I knew him as.
He does have a lot of submissions, but the thing is T. Wood, by the way, really lame nickname. I'm not calling you Stuck, am I?
No.
You can't say that you're not a decision fighter when all of your submissions come from the 4th league. When you're fighting in Montana and submitting guys, that doesn't count. You have to finish guys in the big leagues. Speaking of the big leagues, Strikeforce up to Tyrone Woodley, 3-0 for the guys making their debut from the folded promotion. So, congratulations. The last fight on the prelims was Gleison Tibau versus Evan Dunham. Before I started watching mixed martial arts, if I saw this fight in the street, I would have sworn on my life that Gleison Tibau would kill Evan Dunham.
Mm-hmm.
From the eyeball test. And by the way, I really like Gleison Tibau's tattoo that he's got on his shoulder going down his arm. He doesn't have a tattoo on his shoulder. He's got a tattoo like highlighting his shoulder. It kind of makes it look like he's got like an exoskeleton and he's like bionic.
It makes him look stronger.
It does. If I had any definition in my arms whatsoever, then I might put a tattoo on there too. Evan Dunham has a granite chin. He was eating a lot of power in the first 2 rounds, I think.
He was, and I mean, it didn't seem like Tibau was slowing down much at all and still, putting it on Evan Dunham, but I didn't agree with the decision, but...
Oh, you thought Gleison won?
I thought I had Gleison, and maybe I should go back and rewatch the fight, but I thought I had him winning the first 2 rounds. And Dunham, and I wholeheartedly agree that I'm probably wrong. But I had him after the first view. Yeah, I had him winning the first 2.
I thought he won the first one, and then I thought he visibly slowed.
Somewhere near the second round, yeah.
Yeah, even though Evan is eating bombs, I thought he was far more technical starting in round 2, fighting off takedowns, mixing up his strikes. I thought he clearly won round 3, particularly with those knees. Mm-hmm. And I thought it would have been 2-1, Evan Dunham in favor over Yanni Gleison Herculano Alves.
I was waiting for that.
Thank you.
Yanni Gleison
Herculano.
No, this was where I think, as you mentioned, our pre-fight predictions, we had Bobby Green, we had Woodley. This is where I'm pretty sure I thought Evan Dunham would lose, and then I was screwed from here on out.
We also thought Eve Edwards would win, so that killed us right there.
Yes, we really did.
And I picked Chico, I think, because he has the same name as my college nickname.
That's right.
I might have to review my my fight picking strategies. Nah, they're fine. Let's get to the main card, which is coming up in part 2. See how I did that there? So that is the prelims, all 6 fights. A great card, great fights all the way through. Some controversy. Kim Winslow being Kim Winslow, Herb Dean literally taking the night off. Jacob Volkmann, sadly, going back to his bunker. What do you think? Final thought on the prelim card.
The prelim card was impressive. Didn't have a ton of names, but I think it showed promise for your Strikeforce, your Strikeforce transfers. Hopefully I never have to see Jay Hieron fight again. I felt terrible for that. And I do want to revoke what I had said on the preview show, saying that Jacob Volkmann should lose and then get cut. I would like to see Jacob Volkmann continue to fight so that can happen to him again and again and again.
It's worth mentioning Bobby Green did get submission of the night on Volkmann. Mm-hmm. All right, join us for part 2. That's part 1. Mitch will be joining us again. All right, see you guys.